welcome to this complete, full spoiler discussion of The Pillars of the Earth, Book 1. That is out, available now on platforms of choice. We played it on, me and Nicholas here, played it on the PC system.
Master Race.
And, oh god. And we're going to talk about the first book in full spoiler, so you can hang around if you want to and don't care. Or if you've watched my complete playthrough of the game, which is now up, and you've watched all that, and now you can hear us talk about it and stuff. Either way, spoilers. Right, let's kick it off. This is it's a old school point and click proper adventure game.
Very much so.
Proper. It doesn't have like any completely ridiculous puzzles where you have to combine stupid items in the adventure or something like that. So I say it's like point and click adventure more so than like Telltale games are now, but it's not like ridiculous.
I wouldn't even go as far to say call them puzzles, really.
No, it's not. Doesn't have many. It doesn't have. Well, it doesn't really have any puzzles, but it's more proper. Yeah. It's somewhere between like. It's not Tales from Monkey Island, ridiculous puzzle point and click adventure game, but it's not like Telltale where it's basically you're playing a TV movie. Like, it's got more actual quote-unquote gameplay, I
Pick
suppose.
This up, use it on this.
Yeah, use this item to talk about. So did you like that? Do you like these?
Yeah,
do you like these games?
No, I didn't mind it at all. Like, when the puzzles get too obtuse and there's no logical answer, that's when it...
you get really annoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for the most part, it was just like, who am I supposed to be talking to? Blah, blah, blah. Plus, they make it real easy because you can press spacebar to see everything you can click on the screen anyway. So if you need to find something, it's like spacebar. Okay, I didn't see that thing over in the corner that I was supposed to click on.
And it's a godsend for anyone that plays it like you have to click on everything, like I do. Yeah, just for completion's sake.
Because you... Spacebar, click, click. Okay, move on to the next room. Yeah, so... all right, so let's jump in and talk about the story, because it's obviously it's a story-focused game, adventure game, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Interesting, like, it's based on a book. We found this out after playing it. We discussed it briefly, like, at some stage after playing the first chapter each or something. Because I like Googled it. I was like, oh, how old's this book? Found out there's a book. There's a sequel to the book. Didn't know any of this. Yeah. Found out there's a TV show.
It's pretty that good. We both were like,
I was like, it's got a lot of good actors in it. I kind of want to check out this TV show. Not going to check out the TV show until I've finished. How many books was there? Three, right? Yeah. So I'm not going to check out the TV show until the whole game's finished running, because I don't really want to spoil anything that could happen in the game at this stage. But interesting that this is based on something that must be a...
Yeah, it's such an odd subject
of sorts.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it.
It's a very odd...
Yeah.
Very... so I haven't played a game really where the main subject for the majority of it's very... biblical, or however you want to put it. Like the main character basically is a monk. I mean, there's a couple different characters you play as, but the main character is a monk in this game. I'd say you spend the most of the time playing as Philip. That's his name, Philip. Yeah, and you have to the longest chapter, I think we both agreed that the longest chapter was chapter 1, which is just running around the priory or whatever the hell you call it. There's Philip.
I think it's priory.
Big
cathedral place.
As he arrives. Yeah, and you spend a lot of time talking to monks and all sorts of stuff like this. I remember when I first started getting into it, I was like, oh, I wonder how much time. Maybe we'll just play as him a little bit here. We'll switch over to a different character, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like you end up dealing with it's like you're going over talking to bishops, and then you're like over talking to the king later in the game. It's like, and all this. I mean, it all makes sense because, of course, in the period that this game's set, this is how the world... Yeah,
it's all revolving around a true story, like the sinking of the White Ship where the king's heirs all died on a pleasure cruise, and then there was the fallout. His brother comes over to take power, but his fucking wife wants it as well. And it's a very interesting period.
It's interesting stuff. Yeah. It's interesting period and stuff. Did you find any of it... do you think it's like would turn people off? Do you think that having this being the main subject kind of thing?
Yeah, like if you're not particularly interested in like medieval kind of history. Like, there's a lot of political intrigue, which I think if people like that from Game of Thrones, they could get some value out of it. But unless you like not even know the church system, but like have some sort of familiarity with it or history at all, I don't think you're going to get as much out of it.
My king, he brought Bartholomew to justice.
Because it's, I suppose that's when you put, you're like, oh, it's set during the medieval period, but this is very much focused on more the political aspect of stuff. And this isn't like Game of Thrones, the game,
no, not at all.
Some King Arthur thing where, like, you're not a knight, you're not some swordsman dude or anything like that. Mostly you play as like a kid and like a builder that builds chapels, and you play as a monk. Like, these are the main characters. They're so far separated from any sort of action.
The little things they do affect grander things, but not directly.
More. Yeah, exactly. And there's like no combat of any sorts in this game. There's never any violent stuff kind of happens, but you're never involved in any violence yourself or anything like that. So, although I was going to say, so the story, when we leave the story, what's his name? Harlem Kid or whatever reports back to the bishop on my game. I don't know. I presume that all endings must be pretty similar to similar.
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about.
That little shit, the blonde haired fuck.
The one that you scare through.
That was trying to like. Yeah, he was trying to like get with the princess. I say princess, but it's like the girl in the tower or whatever.
The lady or whatever.
Aliena, her name starts with A.
Yeah,
I can't remember. But like he runs off. He's like tells the bishop, and the bishop's like, "Oh, we've got plans to do all this sort of stuff." So now I am wondering if going into the next book, will the next book be more violent, especially if you watch did you stay for the next time? I
believe I did.
Doors of the Earth thing.
A lot of that.
And I think it said, from what I gathered, it's having like next time we'll have a flashback. Because one of the weirder parts in the game that I was going to complain about was when you're in the town.
Yep.
And then he comes over and you find out later, like, he basically goes through, kills a bunch of people, and kidnaps the king dude.
Yeah,
not king,
the lord.
like the head or whatever.
The duke or whatever.
The lord dude from there. You miss all of that, and all of a sudden the builder, Jack, his mum, all that, they arrive
they settle
in the priory place. And I was like, why did we miss out on all that happening?
On all the action,
but then the next time they're like, oh, we're going to flash back and show you what happened there, which I was like, that's an interesting choice to like cut that out and put it there. But then I'm like, oh, maybe they did it so the first book's less, it's just kind of focused on a lot of the political stuff, not much action and stuff happening. And then they moved that scene into the next one where it's probably going to maybe go a bit darker. Yeah. Because obviously bad stuff has to happen, or else where book one ends, it's kind of like, oh, they spend the next 8 years working happily ever after, and they build the chapel back up or whatever was happening. And so
I remember when I did some research into the novels that apparently it gets really dark, like some dark themes and violence and stuff, which obviously wasn't portrayed in the first book, but I don't know how far through the actual book it comes into it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, with no comparison to either like the TV show or the book between us, we don't know. We don't know playing this like, oh, this is only like the first chapter.
Exactly.
Like, oh, this
we
is
have
like
no frame
a quarter of the book, or it's like, how much are they missing? Have they like cut out characters? What's happening?
I'll be interested to see
which will make it really more interesting.
How different it is.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to go. I'm intrigued to play more of the game because I'm enjoying the story and stuff happening. But then I'm intrigued once the game finally finishes to jump in. To at least check out that TV series, I reckon, first up. I don't know if the book's probably a bit too much of a investment.
It is a long book.
I think it's quite a long book.
I think it's like 1,000 pages or something like that.
Yeah. I'm like, mate, I don't know. Maybe if I love the game series and I watch the TV series, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. Maybe then, but at this stage, I'm like, I'm looking forward to comparing it to at least the TV series, I suppose. I really enjoyed the story, all that sort of stuff. All the stuff was happening. Was there any characters that you didn't like, and who was your favourite character? Because my favourite character was playing as the kid, Jack.
Watch your step, you little twit.
Yeah, look, I didn't hate playing as... I have a minor issue with the kid, like, has the answers to everything. Like, I don't know how that works. It doesn't work for me storytelling wise. Like, oh, the kid finds out everything that needs to be fixed and tells Jack, and if he hears this, and happens to be in the right place at the right time all the time. I think my favourite character would have to be probably the monks that help the main dude, the main Philip dude. You know, the cook and the other old dude.
Yeah. He's the ones that are in that place. So ends up looking after the
Yeah,
babies,
that's one.
like one of them. Yeah, and the other older dude that was in there in the back room with him. Yeah, those two, and the rest of the monks are basically assholes.
Fuck.
Or dumb old.
Yeah, I hate
the dumb old one.
The guy that took over.
The black-haired one, the one that was going to be. Yeah. As soon as you start playing the game, like, this guy fucking sucks. Like, I hate him. From the moment you see him on screen, I was like, I hate you so much. Like, you could just tell.
And
sometimes you see character models, and you're like, I hate him.
In the first chapter, when you first come across the bridge, and the guy tries to extort you for money, and you like fucking tell him off.
Yeah. I was like,
what a piece of shit.
Did you give him?
No, I didn't. I told him
or
off, and I said I'm going to fucking dob on him.
Yeah, well, there you go. There was the only other character. So there's actually.
Sorry. I also like the mother. Funny.
The mother, the mother was good. I like this game because when I do think about it, go.
Especially the line she says later in, I think when they're in the town in the city, where she goes, maybe when he's talking about how babies are made, and he goes, when they put the prick in the cunny.
The seed comes out of a man's prick and is planted in a woman's cunny. Then the seed grows into a baby in her belly. Oh yeah, when they put the prick in the cunny. Yeah, I laughed. I forgot about that actually, but yeah, no, I remember like being like, oh, they just said that. Like that's very good. They let me tell you about the birds and the bees, Jackie boy. Yeah. You put the prick in the cunt. I'm like, that's probably how they spoke. Sure. I mean,
is Tom going to put his seed in you, Mum? Maybe.
Yeah, is Tom going to put his seed in you there? Maybe. Yeah, that was a really weird scene, but it was quite funny. There's a few scenes. I like how in this game, though, there is characters that I'm like, I like this character's fine, I like this character. And then some of the villain characters, it does, like, this is when you can tell, like, fiction or something does it really well. And, like, to compare it to Game of Thrones, because it's kind of similar. It's like, the bad guys in Game of Thrones, people get such hatred towards. It's because they're, like, written well and stuff like that. And I really hate several characters in this. Like, I hated that dude. I hate the blonde-haired Harlem kid, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah,
like, he's
Tom's
such a
son,
fuck. Like,
he's a piece of shit.
Alfred. Yeah, there's a lot of characters. That's his name, Alfred, the son. Yeah, asshole. Apparently, you can make friends of him.
Yeah, I never did it. I tried, but he didn't of it.
At the end of the choices, no, I didn't even try. I'm like, you're a fuckhead. You can just die for all I care. Don't even give any shit. So yeah, I'd say that. Like, of course, this probably comes from the book being written well and stuff like that, so it just translates into the game well. The voice acting, for the most part, I thought was really, really great. And there's a few lines here and there by minor or supporting characters that didn't seem so great. Like, sometimes I'd hear, like, at one stage there, I think, like, the second time you're at the bishop's place... No, the first time you're at the bishop's place and you're wandering around, like, feeding your horse or whatever, and the dude opens the doors, and he just goes, like, hello, or something like that as he opens the door, and I was like, what? Like, just, hello?
Hello?
I was like, no, that was a little bit off. But all the main characters and stuff like that all had, like, really, really great... voice acting, I thought. Although it's really good voice acting, but the lip syncing to the character models is like quite often off.
Yeah.
If you look at it.
I don't know if it has something to do with the art style or the way it's done or something.
I love the art style, but I'm just like, just get the movements of the lips to the voice acting. But if you're not paying attention, you probably won't notice. But if you like lock eyes for a second on someone's lips and just start, once you notice it, I couldn't help it. Just every time, like staring, like you can't unnotice it. So that was kind of annoying.
Yeah, I'd never noticed it myself.
Yeah, you got lucky. I think it took me to like episode 2 or 3, chapter 2 or 3, and I finally noticed it on some character when it was like a more close-up shot or something. And I was like, for the rest of the game, every time someone was speaking, I'm like, no, that's off. It would be like, hello. I'm like, no. Just like, it's just one of those little things that can become quite annoying. Overall, though, the art style and the music's probably the best two things.
Yeah, the music's for me. It's not very noticeable, but it fits it well.
So well, yeah. I think, and the art is amazing.
Oh yeah,
I thought like
it looks all hand drawn.
There's those overhead. It's great. It just works so well, especially like the moving backgrounds, like the sky and stuff like that, and it'll have like there's like an overhead shot of the town where you go to see the king towards in chapter 6 or something like that. And I'm like, oh, look how detailed this is. This is fucking awesome. There's towards the end of the game in the last chapter when as Jack you go to give something to the what is it, like leaves or something to the really old dude that sits up near the bridge.
Like the medicine for the old mate.
Like as the bell gets put up and stuff, like looking into the background there, I'm like, oh, I can tell difference. Like it's not winter anymore. Like look how pretty this is. The sheep and stuff. Like it's just really, really great art, and it just doesn't look like any other game I've played this year or for a while. Like the art style kind of just stands out. So
it's very unique,
which makes it stand out because very unique, which is great for a game like this because it'd be very easy to do an art style that is just typical,
like a medieval type of thing
style. It's just like it's like grey and grungy, and it's just like the same sort of thing, and it just would have not separated it from other things. So I think they made like a really, really good choice on what to do with the art, and the music's like really, really fantastic as well. So I'm looking forward to getting some more stuff like that. You don't notice, like once you notice it, you're like, oh, whoever's doing the music's like doing a really good job, and it all works together. Some stuff like that. I think
unfortunately it's not going to get as much recognition as it deserves, in my opinion, because it's such a niche.
The game in a whole,
like even the art style and the music is such a niche that unfortunately not many people are going to even give it a second look.
I think that's why I was asking at the start, like if the story, the idea and all that sort of stuff could be a turn off. Like you're looking on Steam, you're looking on your PlayStation, whatever you're looking on, you're reading the description, it's like 11th century, 12th century, or like what is it?
I think it's 1090 or 60 or something like that.
Yeah. 11's close enough. But it's like 11th century, you play as a priest, monk, like what? It's just like most people are going to be like, it's like point and click adventure games, like but I can see, especially for the way games are designed these days, it's going to be a turn off for a lot of people, I suppose, unfortunately. Especially with like the Telltale adventure games.
Oh yeah, they've just changed the game so much that
but I think it's good to play something like this while I've still got Life is Strange City on here, waiting for me to play it, while I've still got The Walking Dead Season 3 and Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm still playing something like this, and I'm like, this can all coexist. Like, I'm not like, this one's
for reference, I just finished episode 1 of Before the Storm, and I appreciate how different Pillars of the Earth is to the other ones.
To that, yeah. It's really good, though, because Life is Strange, I haven't played episode 1 Before the Storm yet, but I know it's like typical life, like it's still Life is Strange.
Yeah, very much.
Life is Strange is a lot different to Telltale games.
Yeah, it is. It's
kind of the middle ground. Life is Strange, or So it's like there's 3 different genres in the whole same adventure genre, which is a good thing to have, I suppose. I'd say check it out. Like if for some reason you're watching this, and if you watched all my videos or something, or you don't care, I'd say check it out. It's not that much.
No.
I'll jump on board.
It's $30.
It's like $50 or something.
Yeah,
$30 US. I think it's like 55 Oz or 55 on the PlayStation Store. I think that's what I saw it for. But it's pretty good, and I mean, you can't really go. It's got the replay, or the fact that like you could watch all my videos, and you can still play it yourself because there's the choices and stuff like that, and most of our decisions we made, I think, were quite different along the way. So
I think you need a decent attention span too, because the prologue and the first episode are real slow burn.
Meandering. Yeah.
Because you don't feel like, oh, where's this going to go? Like, what's going on? Yeah.
No.
So,
but nothing big happens.
No, not at all. Plus, I think you got to remember, like, he said at the end of the series, like the end of the first book, the cathedral is going to take 20 to 30 years to build, so the story is going to take over a real long span of time. Any last thoughts on the book? There's more story points I want to discuss with you, like the old friar that supposedly died. What do you think? Like, I'm assuming that was him in the top of the cathedral when you burn it down.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that actually.
Yeah.
So there's two things that happen. Just remind me. There's two things that happen that are supernatural, I suppose. Which is one when you see the ghost or whatever the hell he was supposed to be, and then the other one is when he looks. I got the kid in the bishop's place. The second time you go there with. Did you go there with?
Yeah, with the shithead
dude. The shithead.
Yeah.
And did you get him? Then he looks into the fire and he sees.
Yeah,
the devil.
yeah, sees the devil. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, calling that supernatural is like...
I think it was more just like the power of persuasion, that one. And I think the first one was...
Yeah, no, that's up in the air.
Yeah. I think the other one in the roof of the cathedral, I don't think he was a ghost. I think that was actually the guy. Like, he fell into the river or was pushed into the river and he got out later and he just hit up in the top of the roof, being a crazy shithead. That's the way I interpreted it anyway.
Possible, but they would have found his body surely, like when the place burned down.
You'd think so, but I don't know. How good was forensic? Arson fucking forensics back in 10 something.
Yeah, I don't know. They well, you just think they would have found a body like bones or something. Like bones don't.
No, I don't think
bones
so.
burn unless they're.
But then again, it is on top of like
a fire like that.
The cathedral is built on top of like a mausoleum thing, so maybe they just assume that too. Know.
Up in there. I mean, I'm open for it to just being something like that because it's like the only really weird supernatural moment in the whole show, chapter, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe we're going to start going a bit more supernatural here. And then when the guy saw the devil, I was like, could either just be he was like freaked out and they saw it, but then we did have that weird moment where apparently the kid saw a ghost he didn't know existed. So
there's a couple other things I want to see what you did different to me. Like, did you side with the church or that other lord, the shithead's parents?
Shithead's parents.
Yeah, so did I. And
even though I hate everything about both choices.
Yeah, they're both fucking awful. That
I talked them down so we got halves.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go with their first offer.
I think I went with their first offer because I was trying to play it kind of like how the character would, because I don't read him as like he said earlier, like I don't get involved with these kinds of things. I didn't read him as kind of like a manipulator. And
no, I was like, let's try to deal it more, and then they're like, why do you reckon they want that? And then you get him to go like, you need me just as much as I need you, and then the chick goes, oh, you've learned more or something like that. So what's your deal then? And then you can be like, well, you get half of this, you get half of this. I'll get half the money from the quarry, you get half the money from the market, blah, 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 blah. So,
yeah, no, I did, like I said, I was trying to play it how I thought the character would react. And did you keep quiet about burning the church down, or did you tell them you did it?
I kept quiet. Who could you tell?
I'm pretty sure you could tell Tom or someone, I think. When they were talking, like...
Oh, yeah, that's right. There is that option. Yeah.
So I take it you didn't do it, I thought that would not go down well.
Fuck no, that's not going down well. I'm not doing that. Keep quiet, little jack boy.
And at the beginning,
keep quiet.
Did you keep quiet about your brother with the letter, or did you say that it was just you? Or did you say the brother sent it? You know, when the bishop first comes to the priory to investigate?
I said the brother sent it.
Yeah, I kept it to myself.
Yeah.
I can't imagine changing the story too much,
No. There's like small differences between our playthroughs, I think. But I think because it's based on a book, there's only so much they can do, probably.
Exactly.
So, is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. Go check it out, everyone. Highly recommended.
Alright, I'll wrap it up for this review discussion. Full spoilers of book 1, not chapter 1, there's chapters inside the books.
Yeah.
There's book 1 of The Pillars of Earth. We will be highly anticipating book 2. I don't believe there's a release date just yet. Hopefully, I'm hoping that they put it out before the end of the year, and then maybe we get like book 3 early next year or something like that within the first time or something like that. I don't really know. Tweet at Daedalic Entertainment and ask them. Sure, do that. Anyway, looking forward to talking about it some more when we've played through the next book. I will have a full Let's Play up of the next book.
Number 1 game where you deliver a baby.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Next time on The Pillars of the Earth. Find out what happened to me and my brother Richard after the siege of our father's castle. What will the future hold in store for Kingsbridge? The Pillars of the Earth, Sowing the Wind.